always superior to the co-regulatee.
I can already say my opinion that no.
No.
I mean,
superior, what does that mean?
Superior is like...
no, wait. No, I'm getting it
I
wrong.
just thought there's no need to discuss because we all agree.
but we have to explain why.
Okay. Now what's yours?
From other scholars that they are telling us which of them is indispensable. What does that mean? Which of them is indispensable? And
So the pedagogical skills needed by teachers in order to enhance collaborative learning, would you say that there is one indispensable one?
What? Oh,
That is like if you could pick one skill,
yeah.
which one
Which you
would be
think
the
it's-
one that is like the most essential?
sounds interesting. Skills.
Mm.
Not like personalities, right?
No.
No,
Okay.
like task formulation, assessment, and whatever it is.
Is there a list that we have like for the skills? Like what's yours?
Are you recording?
Yeah.
That's mine.
In terms of regulation, is face-to-face in collaborative learning more effective than online collaborative learning?
Yes.
Why?
I can talk about that.
But
It
you are
depends.
quickly you have to justify
Yeah,
why
we should choose
you-
one of them before. That's all.
your question should be discussed.
Yeah,
you
but
also
I haven't
justify
read
why
mine.
yours. Okay.
Does cultural background and personal experience have any effect in terms of interaction and communication among group members?
Yo. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, and but why?
Why?
Okay, which question to go? Shall we just pick one? Like, or is there one that we don't want to discuss at all?
That one, pedagogical skills. Because I think there are lots of skills.
You guys are deciding as a group.
Indispensable.
You don't decide to pick the question as a group, but you decide to justify why your question should be discussed. Do you get the task now?
Yeah, but we can
You have
still
your
pick-
own question,
Yeah.
but you have to convince your group
Yeah,
why
group,
your question
yes, yes.
should be discussed, and not the other person's own,
Good.
and not just to pick.
But are we not?
No,
are we not discussing
Okay,
the
okay,
question
okay,
as
okay,
well?
okay.
Like
No,
an
we-
answer
we-
to the question.
when we get the one we're going to discuss, then
Yeah,
all of us.
yeah.
discuss.
For
Yeah,
example, you
Okay,
think,
so you think that picking one this way is not justified?
yeah, it's not.
Well,
the-
method.
You have to justify why
yeah,
you
yeah.
think your question is the best question for the group to discuss.
I'm not a
If I don't
salesperson.
agree with my question,
If you don't agree, you should still. because
That is
that's
the purpose of the task. You have to agree with the
Yeah,
question that you have.
Yeah.
So you have to
I-
sell your question.
I
Yeah,
think-
sell your
I
question.
think my question is the fundamental and then the basic of all the skills that you're going to learn. So I think that when we discuss, we are four, we could come out with 4 skills, and out of the 4 skills, we could argue effectively about which one to use. And that from there, when we go to the class, you show them that you know that skills and you're going to implement it.
Is the other group having the same questions, by the way, or different ones?
No
It
idea.
doesn't matter.
No idea.
So I think everybody should vote for my question.
Okay, cultural background and personal experience. Come on, this is something that we can all relate to personally. Yes. And see it from both sides, from learner's perspective and then the teacher's perspective. And if we come up with something reasonable to talk or to agree on as an answer, that would enhance our work while at the university. Because we are not going to be teachers, but we will still be learning here for another year and a half.
But
will be
to-
managing
to-
diversity now.
to refute your points. Why we don't?
No.
No, kind of. No, but you can also provide counter arguments
Already?
so that we select the one we are going to.
Hear them
But I
first.
have a counter argument for your
Go
own.
ahead.
but if you start with that, then
Then
we are
we're
discussing.
Yeah.
That's the point now.
Let's go.
Well, I think no, this question, because I think even though co-regulator acts like kind of
Support.
not dominate, like be the co-regulator is the active one, and sometimes co-regulating might be the passive one. But cannot be passive. And then it's not co-regulation.
Why are
But
we
no,
discussing
before,
now?
before
Like-
before it
like
is a person, but when
co-regulator
he takes
can
the
initiate
initiative.
initiate the
yeah,
co-regulation, right? Oh, sorry.
nothing is superior. I mean, co-regulator.
But you're
can
not
be...
selling your question. You have to sell the question for us. That
Ah,
this is the
okay.
one.
You have to
It's
pitch. You have
important.
to
It's
pitch to
important
us.
to discuss
Yes.
this question.
Yes.
Okay. Yes, I think. Okay, this question I think is also very important
Why?
because sometimes co-regulator can be very bossy. You know. Sometimes if co-regulator thinks that he or she is superior or he can change or he can lead the team and everything, it's difficult to for the co-regulatee to follow, or most of the people don't want to follow in totally to somebody, to a co-regulator.
Yeah,
Just to help you.
So I think it's also important to discuss a little bit about this so that we can come up with some ideas of what a co-regulator should be, and then why it's not always superior, and then what benefits
The faster we are arguing, the more we can actually discuss.
Okay. Go on.
Well, I wanted to make her point very contextual.
Okay, please.
Okay. Now, in the context of what we are learning, it's the teacher's pedagogical skill. So the teacher here acts as the co-regulator. Okay, so that relationship between the teacher and the students, providing that support, naturally the students, somebody should initiate it. But once there's that relationship between the teacher and the students already existed, it makes the teacher superior, and then whatever prompt support he gives to the co-regulatee, the person is able to do it, forming together into the skills that the teacher needs. So we should discuss your
We should, you say.
I'm just trying to make it more visible for her.
Okay, so you're making her job, doing your job.
Now he will. I'm not gonna sell. You will sell mine. I'm scared. Well, guys, my question is: in terms of regulation, is face-to-face in collaborative learning more effective than online collaborative learning? I think this is an important question for us. Why? Because we know that we have now these online environments and the face-to-face environments. So sometimes people just leave like, yeah, technology, we have everything with technology, we can collaborate with technology. But is technology really, it's more effective than face-to-face collaborative learning? Really? What happened, I'm just making my point. The question says, is face-to-face in collaborative learning more effective than online collaborative learning? Is it really face-to-face more effective, or the tools that technology are providing us are making collaborative learning something more easy? Or is with online collaborative learning more easy to achieve a real collaboration? And we have collaborative both face-to-face and online, not only in schools, it's also in the real life. So I think we can relate this question to things.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to clarify the question.
Because with the online, which aspect of online? If, for instance, online where you're using Skype, where I can see you, it's also
but also the question is whether it's exclusively online from the start to the finish, or is it a blended learning?
Blended learning.
Okay, because then it's not the same. I don't think it's the same question then.
And how to link to this question to our course?
Oh, well, we are having it
No,
constantly.
I mean teacher.
For this
Teachers
lesson.
For this class.
I think if you are teaching in higher education, sometimes you have the option to say, okay, I'm gonna teach this using an online environment, or I'm gonna use face-to-face teaching sessions. So you have options as a teacher, sometimes, not always.
Is
But
that the case in primary? Would that be the case in primary as well?
Yes, depends on the primary. I mean, if we start to, okay, not in all the countries, maybe not in all the environments, but it's possible sometimes, because, for example, I told you, we had a reading software. So sometimes you have the option to say to the kids, okay, you will use the online reading software, and you will send it to me. You will record while you are reading and while you are answering the questions, and then I will analyze. So the kid has all the online tools, or I can say like we are gonna learn this skill during a normal, like a regular class. So sometimes you have the option.
But we are talking about collaborative learning.
Yeah, but
individual.
You were asking the question. Well, also.
Yes. Yeah, but that's what I'm thinking. Like, is the question relevant in primary education? Is there really a chance to do online collaboration in a primary setting?
I also think it depends. If you have, not always, but you have different softwares.
Okay.
For example, now that you say collaboration, there is something called, I don't know if it was Mathletics or something like that, but kids had the opportunity to achieve like math goals together.
Okay.
Like they have a problem and they have like this chat.
Okay.
So they were like, that was not my subject, so
But it is.
I don't have the total idea of how it works, but they
Then
were
it's
working
possible.
sometimes. Yeah.
Okay.
But what is the question that we are gonna choose?
This we would benefit from as learners as well. Here.
I go for that one.
I like yours.
You are nicely color coordinated. True or false, white.
Essie can pick one.
No, we need to decide as a
Randomly.
group. No, we need to decide as a group.
Okay.
We can just also pick one if we cannot agree. That's also a method.
To pick one.
Yeah.
All of them are important.
Yeah, but we should discuss
We
all
should
of them.
discuss a little bit, right?
So the faster we discuss,
think
the
we
more
were-
we can
I
discuss.
think we were discussing.
Yeah, kind of. Okay, say a number.
See?
What?
See?
Decide.
The third.
Yeah, there are
A three.
Like there are
A C.
letters.
What?
This is yours, maybe.
Is it
No, this is.
They are A.
No, they are A.
Oh, okay. I thought like my question is A, so I
I mean,
A,
maybe
B, C, D.
we are the team A.
Oh, team A.
Team
Yeah.
A.
Okay, so say a number. 3 or what somebody said.
Yeah.
Okay, say a number. 3.
One,
Because it's
A C.
three.
3. There you go. Okay, that's
That's-
fun.
That's mine.
Right, so, is co-regulator always superior to the co-regulatee? So is the...
But we agreed that it's not a good word to use. The superior is not.
Okay, so you can still explain.
just-
It's fine.
Yeah. Well, you have already summed it up. You have actually. You said.
I think here the co-regulator, as TK said, refers to teachers and who have a higher, like who have different role already, and then sometimes we automatically or unconsciously think that teachers lead the classroom and teachers take control, and so students as co-regulators sometimes they will just follow.
That is the
Yeah.
because of it simply the status, the power that the teacher has in that given situation. Even if she is not like if he or she is using it not as an not abusing the power, like, but it's
But
always
still, you know,
the
when-
relationship is always built so that
Yeah, but I don't think it's superior. It's
No.
it's just like teachers act as a teacher, but it's not superior. For example, do you feel that Essie is superior than us? No, but Essie is kind of like leading the whole class, whole course, and leading the whole class.
I mean, for example, I feel that she has more knowledge
Yeah,
about.
That's the power.
you can
different-
learn.
Yes,
Yeah.
I can learn, but maybe in our learning environment, yes, I can say yeah, but I can also, I mean,
she's the one giving you the grade,
yeah,
kind of. So it gives her power over.
yeah.
The string, strings.
But are we in
But it's not
collaborative?
superior. in a
Is
way
this
that-
just about teachers and learners, or is also learners?
Learners can be learners.
Because sometimes you have also in a classroom the situation that you have students and someone is co-regulating
Yeah.
a student, and I think in that case it's not always that the person, well, it depends, because superior in knowledge, superior in skills, but maybe
staff regulatory skills.
maybe you have something that I'm missing, so I
Yeah,
need your
complementary.
help. But maybe if in a different situation, yeah, maybe I can help you.
Yeah, it's dynamic.
So it's not always superior. It's
Well,
often
no, but
depends.
okay,
It's such a
so-
good
so-
word.
No, let's say now
Let's
let's
change the word.
no, let's put the argument on that temporal situation at that just that
Mhm.
moment. That moment. Okay, so we can argue that temporarily
Yeah.
the code
In that
regulator
second,
is superior.
I wouldn't say superior. That's not a good word.
It's someone you can
When
trust.
you use the
Replace
more,
the
because
word.
the person has more self-regulation.
Power,
What about
more power.
more power? So it's kind of
But
support.
superior for
Though the choice
it
of the
just
word
has
it's
some
very
negative
yeah,
connotations to it,
the
and
word-
I don't
the word
like
itself,
it.
yeah. The word itself, it's kind of
As if you were saying that the
autocratic.
other person is worth more.
Yeah.
Yes,
But not.
yes.
So I would never use the word superior, but something else.
I think it's just in that moment you trust that the other person can help you. It doesn't need to be someone more intelligent or something like that. Just in the moment you feel that you can help me, so I will trust you and I will let you help me.
I would need to even define what superior is.
But I think we shouldn't focus just on
Yeah,
the word.
okay.
I mean,
Just,
The question was
Yeah,
about superior.
yeah, but-
Well, no.
so word.
Okay.
Say a number. Now.
Cox.
What did you say?
Kaksi.
Taxi. I understood two.
Cultural
dos in
background,
Spanish.
Personal experience have any effect in terms of interaction and communication?
Yes.
Definitely.
Yes. Is it a hetero?
I don't know. Your culture, you are talkative. I am assertive. Base, it's also like personal, but also cultural.
Have any effect in- Yeah.
Yeah, of course. you grew up in a
Certain way.
environment with your own culture. So that's the culture shaped you kind of.
Yeah, in a
Little
very
bit.
yeah. If you come from a very competitive background, you are unlikely to share because you think people will steal your ideas or something. Then why would you share if you know your grade depends on how original you are, so you
That's-
don't want others to.
That's right. That's also a problem. Like, for example, my friend, when she was taking the college entrance examination, she basically copied like all her materials to all her friends. Like, but other people would say that, why are you sharing all your materials? These are all yours. And then
Yeah.
because, but she's like, I don't care. It's just some materials that I mean, she didn't care, but some other students would think that, oh my god, it's so weird.
Very individualistic,
Yeah.
very competitive.
And then okay, so you want to know about culture?
How can you compare, like, what, have you gone to college in Ghana at all, or?
Yep.
So what's the difference between Finnish and Ghana?
In terms of what?
In higher education, what is the, like, I suppose it would be rather competitive and individualistic. I don't know how much, well, it is still in Finland as well,
Yeah,
obviously,
yeah.
but is there a big difference?
Not so much difference, but then definitely there's going to be. The culture, as you mentioned, is that in our culture, there's that respect for elder a lot. So maybe when you are young, when the elderly are talking, you're there.
You accept.
They are always right. So
Okay, yeah.
they are always right. So and then you dare interact when an elder is talking, that kind of stuff. So when you bring it here and I have my big sister here is talking, it's kind of difficult to say, hey, you're wrong, that kind of. So that was the culture.
Who's
so the
older?
teacher.
Who's older?
I'm older.
It's my big sister. So if your big sister is talking, we have that idea. Big sister is right. It's like,
Right,
come
so I should shut
on.
up.
No.
Yeah, I should shut up.
But you should get used to it. If, like,
Yeah, so I'm just...
No, but if I don't know about it, then I interpret his behavior completely differently. If it goes, the relationship develops rather differently if I believe that he is too shy to say something or he has nothing to say.
He's respecting you.
Yeah, that's a completely like a very different approach. But how are you able to, you know, discover all these?
At what stage do we discover all this?
So that you can, I don't know, create a kind of environment where it's not an issue.
Okay. Well done, guys. Time up.
Do you want to quickly say anything about the other two?
9.
I think we can.
No, what do you think about this one? Would you say that there is one indispensable one?
Oh no, I think
Possibly the task formation, the pre-planning before the whole thing.
I think there's even before that the understanding of collaboration. If you don't understand what collaboration is about, then you can be the best task formulator and still do it wrong.
Yeah,
Or
implementation will go.
yeah, you won't formulate a collaborative task. Exactly. Yeah.
And with a face-to-face, whether it's whatever. Well, one advantage you could argue is that, you know, when the face-to-face, when you have the face-to-face, people's reactions, I mean, you're able to, you know, the body language, whatever, contribute. But that's how I was coming from that argument. If you're using a video or online, you can see the reactions as well. So.
I don't know, maybe I will share it if I find it again. I saw a Harvard class which is completely online. People are all over from the world, you know, like doing their day jobs and whatnot, and then come together for a live, asynchronous lesson. And the classroom is set up so that there is a massive wall and everybody's picture is there. And there is a teacher in front of them, so you can kind of see each other.
Wow.
And behind the teacher, there are like at least a dozen other people who are trying to notice who is about to say something and who is not, and then, you know, switching on the different microphones and doing like that. The background behind the teacher, that dozen people or 2 dozen, I don't know. Everybody is just looking at their own whatever. I don't know how they are able to detect, but to making it as smooth as close to face as possible. But it's like insane. I just don't think it's going to be like mainstream, but when you have like really diverse teams and really diverse, obviously in a school it's different because in the school you are all together, but at least some time you have to spend in the school. But when it comes to more like higher education and work life, then it's gonna be an issue. But what we've learned from our readings with Diego is that even if the collaboration will take online, most of the time, at least the very first should be face-to-face. You should try to get the very first one face-to-face, because it's much easier to set the social norms, to get to, you know, relate to people, to build a connection.
And the trust.
So collaborative learning can be effective, but the very first meeting and the very beginning.
Okay.
Are we going to present something there?